Rise of mass production and consumption. In the US, the recovery was quicker when compared to the other countries. That helped the boosting of US economy. So we have to notice here, after a very short period of economic trouble in the years after the war, the US economy resumed to its strong growth in the early 1920s. So we are discussing about post World War. How did the recovery happen, and how did US was able to recover very soon, and which helped them to boost their US economy. Let us get into the details. One of the most important feature of the US economy of the 1920s was mass production. The mass production has made it to produce more in large amount. The move towards mass production has begun in 19th century, the late 19th century, but in 1920s it became a characteristic feature, the main feature of industrial production in the US. So what is the main feature that made them to get more work? That is the mass production. In 1920s, that was a key feature for the industrial production in United States. A well-known pioneer of mass production was car manufacturer Henry Ford. Who? Car manufacturer Henry Ford. He adapted the assembly line of Chicago slaughterhouse. In Chicago, there is a slaughterhouse where the animals were kept apart by the butchers. As they come down on a conveyor belt, they get the work done. So the same line method, assembly line method, Henry Ford has adopted. So to his new car plant in Detroit. So he realized that the assembly line method will allow you to do the work faster and cheaper way of producing more vehicles. Now, what is this assembly line method? The assembly line forced the workers to repeat a single task mechanically and continuously, such as fitting of a particular part of a car at a pace dictated by the conveyor belt. This is a way of increasing the output per worker and speeding up the pace of work. How does this happen? Assembly line means we all know, in line we follow certain things. As the people are doing the work is completely divided for everybody, and as the conveyor belt gets the particular part or a car for you, you first give the outfit. So in the outfit, someone will fix, after reaching to some point, they fix the glasses, then the tires, something like that. The work will be given to them and they have to do the same work. So you become master of the work. Same work, the conveyor belt will get you the work. So standing in front of a conveyor belt, no worker could afford to delay the motions, because if you miss that, it will take you off. They can take a break or even have a friendly word with a workmate. As a result, Henry Ford's cars came off the assembly line at 3-minute intervals and speed and much faster than that achieved by previous methods. The T model Ford was the world's first mass produced cars. The T model Ford car was the first mass produced car through the assembly line method. They were able to do that one very quickly and very fastly. At first, the workers at the Ford factory were unable to cope with the stress of working in the assembly lines, because that is a new thing for them. And we all know our brain has this change hours system. When we try to change something or try to adapt to new things, we feel it rigidly, we find it difficult to do certain things and could not control the pace of work. So they quit in large numbers. This desperation of the people, Ford doubled their daily wages to $5 in 1914. At the same time, they banned trade unions from operating in his plants. So in order to reduce or stop the people leaving from job, one, they have offered them doubling the daily wage into $5 in January 1914, and they also banned the trade unions operating in the plants. So because of these two activities, the production started to increase. Now Henry Ford recovered the high wage by repeatedly speeding up the production line and forcing workers to work even harder. So much so, he would soon describe his decision to double the daily wage as the best cost cutting decision he had ever made. Generally, when we discuss about cost cutting, we think the salaries would be reduced. But here, Henry Ford is saying that due to increase in the salaries, that has motivated the workers to do more work, that the production has become almost double. So now he came up to a point and he's saying that the best cost cutting decision is to increase the salaries per day, wages per day. So Fordist industrial practices soon spread in the entire US. They were also widely copied in Europe as well in 1920s. Now the mass production lowered the cost and the prices of the engineered goods because you are producing in large quantities. Now, thanks to the higher wages, more workers could now afford to purchase durable consumer goods such as cars. Now, as the salaries were increased, the wages were increased, now the workers were also able to buy cars. Now, car production in US rose from 2 million in 1919 to more than 5 million in 1929. So that made the car production so fast. Similarly, there was a spurt in the purchase of refrigerators, washing machines, radios, gramophones, gramophone players, and all the system of hire purchase. So hire purchase in the sense on credit basis, they can pay it back in the weekly or monthly installments. Because of this, the sales also has increased. The demand for the refrigerators, washing machines was also fueled by the boom in the house construction and home ownership. They are financed one again by a loan. So the housing, the consumers all were boomed basis of the prosperity in the US. Large investments in housing and household goods seem to create a cycle of higher employments and income. So that raise the consumption demand. So more investments, the more employment, the more income started to flow in the US economy. So by 1923, US resumed the exporting capital to the rest of the world and became the largest overseas lender of money. So US imports and capital exports also boosted up. The European recovery and the world trade and income growth for the next 6 years continued. So from 1923 to 1929, they were continuously growing their income. All this, however, proved too good to last. They could not last for a long time. After 6 years, there was a huge break. By 1929, the world was plunged into depression such as it had never experienced before. The Great Economic Depression came into existence or happened during that time in the year 1929.